yeah, I wanted to show, because I think it's also cool that it's very easy having Pete, who is so
charismatic,
and also just down. He's just like everything. He's like, this sounds like the best thing I've ever heard in my life.
He's so optimistic about everything.
I was like, it's literally McDonald's. And he's like, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever heard about. Which, to be honest, sometimes it is when it hits. True. So I wanted to kind of get a balance of things, do some interesting things, show some, maybe some of the things that are just maybe some people would consider boring, just going to a place, looking at a thing and going, maybe, So I wanted to kind of get a balance. So we ended up going to a lot of different castles, some really amazing ones in Wales, which were a lot of fun as well. We also, what else did we do? The first day, we went to the Welsh cultural event called the Eisteddfod, which was really fun. And
was that where you got interviewed by the BBC?
Yes.
I saw that.
Yeah, so I basically...
It's been 0 days.
It wasn't me for once.
He said BBC. He said BBC. He said it.
It's almost like Connor and I are not allowed to utter those words.
I can't say it.
It's like, I'll bring it up because I know Connor wants to talk about it,
So... I basically this was like a massive learning process for me, and I'm sure like we're all very accustomed to filming in America and filming in Japan, and I know the process of how it goes. In America, you call someone up, you're like, "Can I film?" They're like, "Fuck, why don't you just show up?"
Yeah,
like filming in America is so easy. It's actually stupid how easy it is to film in America, and like people are so chill about it because everything's on camera in America. In Japan, I know the process as well because there's a lot.
It's the complete opposite.
It's the complete opposite, but then. It's predictable. Like I know what to expect. And the UK was like a weird one where it was kind of in the middle. Like some things were like, you absolutely need to get full permission. Some things were like, nah, just rock up.
Yeah.
And like, it was such a weird thing to have to navigate. And because I was doing all of this myself, I kind of, normally I'll have help in Japan. We have like a team who helps us with it. But this time I was just doing it all myself. Because I was like, I think I can explain what I'm doing the best. And it was just like, varying levels of difficulty between, yeah, sure. And can you fill out risk assessment forms and provide your all this other stuff that I'd never heard of? And I would reply being like, hey, yeah, I don't know what any of this is. Can you help me out? And I felt like such a noob. I'm like, please explain this. I totally forgot about risk assessments.
Yeah.
Because we don't do that here.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
But in the UK, they're obsessed with it. And you have to fill out this thing and you have to, it was so weird because I just didn't know what to do. And so I was Googling frantically to try and figure out what this is. And like, I have to be like, okay, so if I'm filming in like an old building, I have to write down like stairs are old, could fall, or stair could break. What is the step I'll take to
so you have to write all of like the hypothetical.
Oh my God.
Do you remember this shit?
Well, I had this. I was a project manager, so you just unlocked like a fucking memory.
Wait, so you have to write down like all the hypothetical
there was
like
one
issues that you might get?
Place where I had to go, and I had to. I actually had help writing this because I was so lost. Yeah. I actually didn't know, and I felt like this was so dumb. But it is literally like, imagine you are dumbing yourself down to the maximum dumbness, and you like point out everything that's dangerous, and then you just recognize that it's dangerous and that you've said like,
so that you're aware of what you're doing. Right?
I understand why they do it. It just felt like a little like, what? Like, but
it's a bit weird.
It's just so it's like documented down on paper,
know the risks.
so that whenever
so if
something does go wrong, that you know who to blame. It's basically
so like if we were in like an old historical place, I'd have to put like the stairs are slippery.
Yeah.
And so if someone fell,
so if someone slips on the stairs, you could be like, well, we tried to mitigate that risk, but there was something that we didn't see.
So you can't sue us because you're aware that the stairs were slippery. That makes sense.
This was all like really new because like normally in Japan, surprisingly, that we don't normally have to do a whole lot of paperwork outside of the generic kind of release
because
forms.
health and safety is just not a fucking thing.
Health and safety is not a thing.
Like in the UK, it's like everything needs to be documented. What are the potential risks? In Asia, considering how much paperwork people need to go through here, you like go to a fucking race course or something and you're like, you don't really need a driver's license,
Yeah, that's fine. Just put your name and phone number.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Well, I don't know. Maybe because I guess Japan is a lot less sue happy. I feel like they don't normally sue in Japan. It's kind of I've never even heard of it happening.
I mean, it's
like
only
small
really
things.
happens in like super serious situations.
Right,
but even
right.
then, it's like,
Yeah.
it just seems like a pain in the ass process to go through.
For everyone.
Yeah, for everyone.
Yeah, I quite like it. I like that everyone's first instinct isn't to fucking file a lawsuit.
Legit.
You know, normally you try to mediate a lot here, which is nice. Not that I've had to do that, but from what I've seen. Anyway, so that was a whole thing, getting used to that. And it was nice being able to, like, because, you know, in Japan, for me, it's a little tough to kind of, if I ring up and I'm like, satsue ii desu ka? And sometimes they're like, oh, and then they ask me a bunch of stuff that I have no idea about. And I'm like, I'm going to ask Nabi for help now. It's kind of fun getting to do it on my part. But anyway, enough of the boring planning stuff. Planning took forever, but we got everything kind of set out. Very stressful having to explain to places, like, hey, I'm rocking up at this time, and I need to rock up at this time, and I'm leaving in like an hour. And they're like, but we have a 4-hour tour. And I'm like, I need to leave at an hour because we got to do something else, and we got to leave. And it's all really weird because all of them thought like, oh yeah, we've done filming. I'm like, no, this is like different. It's all live. Yeah. All that stuff. So super new learning process for me. A lot of fun though. And it just takes a lot of the, you know, stress out of it when you've got permission and stuff.
Yeah.
Because, you know, most places you can a lot of places you can rock up and you can be like, hey, is it okay if I film? And they say no, whatever. But obviously when you're kind of flying across the world and kind of banking on this working, you're like, I kind of want it to go smoothly. So anyway, we sorry to bore about planning stuff. It is a pain in the ass, but fun to do occasionally. Made this beautiful itinerary. I don't know, I'm making shit up. And then we went to the Stedvod. Anyway, so the Stedvod was really interesting because they were like, for me, it was interesting talking with them because they're like kind of a, you know, it's like just a Welsh cultural event. They're not used to live streamers showing up or YouTubers or anything like that. It's all like legacy media.
Sure.
So every question that they asked me, I was like, oh, I am streaming this. Like, this is different from, because a lot of the questions like were definitely for mainly like
what?
Okay. They were like, yeah, you can start at 10, but then come meet us at the media booth for a meeting at 10:30. And I was like, okay, wait, like, well, we will be live at that point. I can't.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of stuff where I had to kind of like explain, like, no, the camera's on the whole time. It's like pushing the whole thing. Like, I can go away from the camera and talk to you. We can do stuff like that, but like that'll be on the whole time.
Yeah.
But they were super receptive and they were like, come on down, come show it. And it was so fun. And I got to show like a very intense Welsh day. Because everyone at this thing like 95% of people at this event can speak Welsh.
Okay.
And everyone is like speaking Welsh most of the time. So it was really fun to kind of throw Pete in the deep end and be like,
So what's like the main like draw for this event?
So it's they have 3 of these Welsh cultural events every year, and there's one for kids, one for adults, and one that's international.
Okay.
And so this one was the one for kids. So this will be like all the kids who competed in the different events. It's like the finals for kids.
Okay.
For kids below 13. Kids below 13, I think. But we didn't film any of like the competitions or anything like that. We just went around. Right. There's a lot of stuff to do. We did some archery, some axe throwing, went on a bunch of sketchy fair rides, did a couple of plate spinning, had a bunch of food. It was really fun. And
so is it kind of like Renaissance fair vibes or?
No, just like a normal fair.
Okay.
Like a normal fair with I guess to keep it.
Say a state fair.
Sounds
like a state fair.
Like a state fair, but because, you know, a lot of the parents are coming because their kids are competing, or maybe they just live nearby and they want something to do for the day.
Sure.
So it's kind of like they need other stuff outside of just, you know,
the competition.
And there's also like informational booths. So if you want to like go to a Welsh university, they'd have a booth there. You could go up and chat with them, or like a tent, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So there's a lot of like things to do. So luckily, and I didn't know that though. I didn't know how many things there were because when I was a kid, I don't remember it being that much. Because I was like, I remember it being pretty boring when I was a kid. But it was a little better this time, so I was very happy about that. And so I was like, yeah, Pete, we should do this. And my main objective was that I wanted someone, and I had asked them beforehand if they could get someone who could teach us. Because I did this while I was in school. It's called Dan Shugwarin. It's kind of like folk dancing. And so I wanted to get someone to teach us how to do folk dancing as well as like the tapping one. I forgot what it's called. Not tap dancing. It's called something else in Welsh. I forgot what it was.
It's
kind of like tap dancing.
Like river dancing kind of?
It's very much like river dancing.
Right,
it's very much like the Welsh name for it. But they all I think come from the same thing.
Sure.
And they were like, yeah, we found someone who's going to teach you. And that was happening at like 12:30. So the whole day was kind of like building up to this like thing where we're going to finally get involved and get taught. And in between, I guess for some reason the BBC had heard that I was there streaming, and so they wanted to have an interview with me. And I was like, okay, cool.
It's like, guys, the world's most famous Welsh person is here. He's back home.
Well, they were just wondering, like, why would you want to like live stream this?
Yeah.
And so we were live streaming, we were chatting with them, and it was a very standard interview. And I did it in Welsh, which was tough because this is day one, so I'm kind of trying to like restart the Welsh engine.
It's a bit rusty.
Yeah, I'm kind of rusty. And a lot of people who haven't heard Welsh, there's a lot of English words that get used because they're loan words, kind of like Japanese. You know, it's like they don't have a word for cheeseburger. It's the same thing in Welsh.
Yeah,
like,
right.
You know, same with YouTube. Because they're asking about YouTube every 5 seconds, it sounds like YouTube, Twitch, YouTube.
Right.
So that's that. I had my interview, and then afterwards, Pete was there, and they were like, "Oh, we'd love to interview you as well, Pete." So Pete, you know how Pete is. Pete just nails it. He's just being so funny. He's playing it up. You know, he's playing the American who wants to find his Welsh, Irish, British roots to like 11. It's so funny. He kills it. He's a natural. He's phenomenal. And later that day as well, with this interview, they'd posted mine to like socials and stuff, and I got like tagged in it. I was like, oh, that's nice, thank you. But they posted Pete's to the actual like BBC page. So like on the like full interview, like if you went to the BBC app that day on videos, it'd be like one of the top ones. Was Pete, and Pete's like, yeah, man, I'm like 1/10 Welsh or something. I might be more Welsh than the people here. It's so, and it was literally on like on the fucking BBC.
The BBC guys are like, nah, this is too gold to not use.
The BBC International News is fucking Pete.
American comes to Wales.
It was so perfect. He played it up so well. It was just really funny, and it was great to see it. And I don't know, it was just really funny to see it happen. Good on him. Great.
Yeah.
And we finally went to this like dancing thing, where as we were getting ready for this dancing, I saw my like old physics teacher there, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh yeah, I saw the clip as well.
I was like, "What the fuck, Bryn? What are you doing here?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm the one who's going to be playing the accordion for you." And I was like, "Yo, okay." So when we learned how to do the folk dancing, he was the one playing the accordion.
But did he know you were coming?
No.
Oh shit!
He wouldn't have remembered me. I don't think. Yeah, I'm sure he'll say he might remember.
It's like, Teach, do you remember me? He's like,
yeah.
But yeah, so he played the accordion, and that was awesome.
Yeah,
accordion's so sick, and it was so cool watching him as they were teaching us these because they were like super talented. They were like 18-year-olds. They were both like phenomenal, like best. They'd won the competition before. As they were slowing down or speeding up, he was doing speeding up with the music or slowing down. It was so cool to see with the accordion, because the accordion, you know, you're moving like this, so you go like, all right, it's so sick.
It's an incredibly difficult instrument as well.
So badass.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.